to welcome our esteemed speakers, Mr. Swapnil Verma and Mr. Akarshan Sethi, co-founders the Startup Scholar. Dr. J.K. Sharma sir head ASP, the panelists and the participants in today's session. On the birth anniversary of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, ECell and MHRD Innovation Cell is organizing a series of events for celebrating Innovation Day. With same spirit and enthusiasm, Amateur School of Business ECell has organized this webinar on the theme Market Opportunities for Sustainable Innovation in India. The event was designed to provide insights on recent sustainable innovative practices. I would like to express our gratitude towards our honorable founder, Dr. Ashok H. Chauhan, the visionary who started Amateur University as an attempt to revolutionize the education system in India. We would also like to extend our sincere thanks to our honorable Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla ma'am, and Professor Dr. J.K. Sharma, Director, Amateur School of Business. Amateur School of Business is an institution where passion is the differentiator and the focus is on grooming leaders who are not only thorough professionals but also good human beings. The Impresario Entrepreneurship Club of ASP also one such step to create leaders and to groom the budding entrepreneur. So with this, I would now like to invite our director, Professor Dr. J.K. Sharma sir, to share his thought on the theme Market Opportunities for Sustainable Innovative Practices. Sir?
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nidhi. Thank you, Dr. Jayashree, for organizing this very important event. And I would also like to thank today's speaker who had kindly agreed to spare their valuable time to be with us to speak on something which is very important topic of sustainable innovations in India, which is very important nowadays for the growth of this country. I would certainly like to thank our honorable founder president, sir, whose blessings are always with us for motivating to organize such events. And the force behind such kind of efforts are always to our own chancellor and vice chancellors. But nevertheless, the efforts of the faculty of ASP is parallelly equal, or important too. So since I have no in-depth knowledge, of course, of the topic that has been decided for today's discussion, but of course, with my own experience, I may like to speak on certain views of mine as far as the ordinary citizen of the country is concerned. There are, of course, plenty of opportunities for sustainable innovation in India. And we have seen significant improvement in key areas over the past 15 years. However, the current model of development is not moving fast enough, nor moving across all states with equal speed, that we know. And if we go by the assessment of international agencies, the UN Global Goals for Sustainable Development offers a compelling growth strategy, opening up an economic growth of at least $1 trillion by 2030 for the Indian private sector. If we see from the employment point of view, over 73 million new jobs could be created by 2030, 2030. One market hotspot alone, low-income food market, could create around 11 million of these jobs. Imagine, only this small sector can create a wonder, provided our decision makers are of the view and make some attention towards this, especially policymakers. Indian business leaders are already using innovative technology and business models to enter global goals-related market, of course. there are so many companies who are not only participating in overseas manufacturing activities, but also they are participating in stock exchange too. So with that view, India is progressing fast as far as the internationalization is concerned and sustainable growth of the country is concerned. So India has understood the potential investment opportunities behind sustainable development and its necessity to grow in a new way with infrastructure development and financing as top priority. Nothing is achievable unless our financial position is not strong. And if in case our house is in order, we can only then look something different other than what we are perceiving and what we are achieving too. We talk a lot about that economy should reach to a certain target of 5 trillion or so. For that, we have to have some sustainable activities as far the innovations are concerned. We have to focus more and more on manufacturing sectors too. So achieving the global goals to meet basic needs and protect human rights is a business imperative as well as a moral one. Over the past 15 years, India has seen huge social improvement, reduced poverty, improved education, and a lower rate of many fatal diseases, as well as technological progress. India used to suffer a lot for the last 15, 20 years with a lot of diseases which were used to infect. And the economy has grown at the average annual rate of something around 7% over the past 5 to 10 years. And the country has also firmly established itself as a worthwhile foreign investment destination with substantial foreign capital inflow. In our own state, like Uttar Pradesh, has started something very aggressively in inviting foreign investors, giving them window of establishing the companies and establishment to improve upon the employment opportunity for the youth. India is on track to become the 4th largest economy in the world within the next 2 decades. No doubt. It has also understood the potential investment opportunity tied to sustainable development and the need to grow in a new dynamic way. Yet, despite these success, the current model of development is not moving fast enough. That is the worry at all. India still struggles with extreme poverty, persistent inequality, among the across regional and group of people, rising gender inequality, and high maternal mortality rate, and the rising climate change and natural disasters. India has the largest number of people living in the extreme poverty, about 800 million subsist or less than there is a consistent disturbance. Nidhi, can you speak, Swati, not to disturb us?
Sir, I'll do that.
So she is giving me call again and again. In 2015, sorry for interruption, in 2015, the country ranked 125th out of 159 countries on the United Nations Development Program Gender Inequality Index. Each year, around 1 million childhood deaths are due to malnutrition, and 23% childhood death can be attributed to the polluted air, contaminated water, and other environmental hazards. India is also one of the most disaster prone countries in the world. Estimates suggest that it lost around 2% of its GDP to natural disasters each year. On its current trajectory, India will continue to face enormous challenges in rural development, urban sustainability, national infrastructure, and improved quality of life of its citizens. The development successes India does enjoy are not moving across its state in a steady speed. Unlike other countries, there is no convergence between the self-development state and wealthy states. There are states like Bihar, which has lowest literacy rate, but there are also states like Kerala, where literacy rate is touching almost 100%. Rising inequality leads to slower progress in reducing poverty. It is also determine the sustainability of economic growth and fuels imbalances in the health and education. A company called Oxfam has calculated that if India were to stop inequality from rising further, it could end extreme poverty for 90 million people as early as 2025. The unnecessary created by the less issues make it hard for business to invest in India with confidence. There are very small issues, either social front or political front, which make investors little hesitant of coming to India for investment. The country needs a different economic model altogether, one that is not only low carbon and environmentally sustainable, but that also recognizes poverty, inequality, lack of financial accesses as new market opportunities for smart, progressive, profit-oriented companies. As the second largest food producer in the world, India needs a more focused approach to developing and managing its agriculture sector and agri-based industrializations. There is a major need for cleaner energy solutions to offset the current demand for fossil fuel and dependency on. India also needs to revolutionize sustainable urban planning, making safe and efficient cities supported by the necessary infrastructure and the right kind of job markets. Better infrastructure would also improve access to proper medical care for India's rural population. The Better Business, Better World report offer a positive alternative to the status quo by setting business strategies and transforming market in the line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The global goal and the component targets formulated through collaborations with the government, business, and civil society aims to deliver the practical solutions needed to protect our planet's resources and leave no one behind. Delivering these outcomes begin with setting policies and priorities, public investment, but that is not nearly enough. So today's discussion on sustainability strategies for innovations probably may address these issues which are really hampering or creating roadblocks for Indian progresses as compared to the progress with the other countries in the world are doing so. A small countries as compared to size and population of the country, our progress is little slow because of the certain reasons, and those reasons can be addressed if youngsters like our students and can just look at it too from sincerity point of view and focus on how the country can be developed. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak about my own views on sustainable innovations for the country. Thank you. Over to Nidhi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insightful thoughts on the theme and as an opening remark to start with the session. So now I would like to welcome our first speaker, Mr. Swapnil Verma, an alumni of Amity School of Business and a serial entrepreneur, who started his first venture during his undergraduate program, formerly known as Bunch and Basket, under the company name as Super Day Solutions Private Limited. BNB used to provide curated gifting options to its clients. Now, presently, Mr. Swapnil is a co-founder and CEO of the Startup Scholars, along with Akarshan Sethi, the co-founder and certified Startup India mentor and associated partner of many incubation centers in India. I would like to request Mr. Swapnil to share his entrepreneurial journey and throw some light on the Startup Scholar initiative. Over to you, Swapnil.
Thank you so much. Let's just have a good think. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, for the very nice speech. I'd like to thank everyone from the Amity University, the Amity family, and all the students who have joined this webinar today with me. And I myself, Swapnil Verma, 2018 batch pass out from ASB. And I've been started this. My entrepreneurial journey has been a very fantastic. I've been a serial entrepreneur from past 3 years. I started my 4 ventures over the time of this, let's say, 3 years, and I've been doing different innovations, working on different projects. My first, as Nidhyam told us, my first project was Bunch and Basket, wherein we used to provide curative gifting ideas to our clients. And from there, I learned so many different things. And then, but in next 8 months, we had to close it down. And then I started some more projects. Out of those, two are again working now. One is the Startup Scholars, which I'm currently working at, and another is this. Another is, hello.
Yes, you're audible. You're audible.
Yeah. Okay. The other is the Reading Spaces, which is kind of a library arrangement with wherein we have students from different colonies, areas of Delhi, which comes with us and study along with us. And then we came up with the idea of Startup Scholars in 2020 only. 3 months back, we started this venture where we deal with the students who want to start their own journey, want to start their own project startups. We try to help them with the B plan, development, strategy management, and so on and so forth. So with my friend Akarshan, we started this journey. We started this venture 2 months back. So I would just ask him to take you on this journey ahead, and would take you tell you more from his own experience. Over to you, Akarshan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swapnil, and thank you everyone from Amity University for inviting me and Swapnil over the stage and talk about our entrepreneurial journey, and obviously talking about the sustainable innovation, sustainability in India right now, specifically the market opportunities. What are there? So just to carry forward what Swapnil told, right? That talking about the Startup Scholars and talking about my individual journey. So I've been in this entrepreneurship ecosystem for more than 5 years now. I've been an entrepreneur, worked with Government of India in their Startup India project as the lead executioner for their Startup India Yatra. I have been the senior startup consultant to Government of Himachal Pradesh, and I have done like many things. And you could probably check my LinkedIn profile or maybe my social media profiles. You would get to know about myself. But here I would really like to tell about more about the Startup Scholars, which basically we are here for, and also to tell about the market opportunities in the how you can become a social entrepreneur, specifically by adapting the sustainability innovation into your project, or I can say as an entrepreneur. Right. So the Startup Scholars, when like 3 months back, when we thought about it, like not exactly 3 months back, I would probably say Swapnil and I thought of executing this maybe like almost 6 months back, when we were having discussions. We used to exchange a lot of ideas, and a lot of things were there. And we always saw a gap that yes, there are incubators, yes, there are accelerators, yes, there are venture capitalist firms, but are there any who is basically helping the student community? Is there any association? Yes, e-cells are there, but e-cells, so no offense to any e-cell, but e-cell are mostly doing their events, right? Mostly helping the students to prepare for that mindset. But who will help the student community to basically execute the planning, right? To execute the initiatives they have thought, to execute or to help them financially or help them in terms of any prospect, who would be there? So we researched, and coming from, as now you can understand that we both are coming from entrepreneurial background, so we researched a lot. We did a lot of SWOT analysis, we did a lot of market research, but we didn't find any, right? Because what if I say that you give me 500 rupees and I'll help you with a proper financial plan? What if you give me 1,000 rupees and I'll help you with funding? What if I tell you that you give me 2,000 rupees and I'll give you 2 lakh rupees? How does it sound? It seems impossible, right? You think that maybe they are crazy, maybe they are talking nonsense, but it is true. We are doing it, and we already have few clients on our board, few startups on our board, and it's going really well. It's going really high. You can follow the startup scholars at Instagram specifically. We are, because we are very young, my age is just sweet 16, you can understand, right? So I think like that. So just kidding about the age thing, but yeah. So we are there to help you, to give you the information, insights of what is happening in and around startup ecosystem in India, right? Then we are there to handhold you, and handhold means handholding. We will be like, you can just treat us as another co-founders, right? And we are not charging like hefty amount. We are not taking any kind of equity from you. We really want that first. We should bring some addition value in your entrepreneurial journey. And then if you think that yes, Akarshan and Swapnil and their team are doing really good, then we would like to go ahead with them. And just to let you know, folks, all the attendees who are attending, 345 people, we are expanding really quickly. We already have around 5 employees on our board, and we are looking for 2 to 3 more employees apart from the 2 co-founders, which we both are, right? So if you guys are looking to have an internship with us, or if you're looking for a job opportunity or anything like that, you can also reach out for to us over there. So we are expanding heavily, and we are doing a lot of stuff, right? And it's an exciting journey. And trust me when I say that it's going to be a roller coaster ride. I'm not saying that we will be always going upwards direction. It's not that we will be going the downwards direction. It will be a learning curve for all of us. And if you're looking for any kind of internship or any kind of if you really want to take the knowledge of the startup ecosystem, trust me, it's the best time to reach out to us, and get back to us. And I really, we already have this vacancy open for last 2 months. We have already closed around more than 20 people. 20 shortlisted resumes are already there. But Swapnil always wanted, because Swapnil is like an alumni of Amity, so he always wanted that let's give a chance to the people of my family, right, where we can actually bring few people. So yeah, if you really want to get back to us, you can just reach out at the startup scholars at gmail.com. And trust me, we from the designing team to the development to the business to marketing, we have all kind of vacancies. It just depends how passionate you are, how enthusiastic you are about startup ecosystem and the startup world. And trust me, this is going to be a great journey together. So that is basically what I would like to talk about these startup scholars. And obviously, once you will reach out to us, we will have more conversations. And guys, before I come to the topic which we are here for, like specifically the webinar topic, right? Uh, I really want one specific thing. We have a chat option available, right? Please, yaar, bore mat karna. I hate getting bored, right? It's a request in the chat option. You ask me questions, right? and Swapnil and I, we both will answer to those particular questions. But it's a request, let's make it a two-way thing. I really don't want, मतलब जितना भी मेरा experience है entrepreneurial journey का, trust me, I'll share it with you. You tell me your experience as a student entrepreneur, right? And I promise we as startup scholars would like to help you with that, right? But it all depends that how much interested you are, and किसी भी चीज में anything we can help you with those things, right? Okay. And guys, frankly to tell you, we don't have any kind of presentations or any kind of slides or something like that. It's like too boring. Like agar chahiye hogi, so we will create it and we will mail it to you. We already have it, right? We will mail it to you after the webinar. But I am not that kind of guy. Neither is Swapnil ki wo presentation पढ़ के सुनाए. मतलब that is like not we are, right? We are entrepreneurs. We have to be innovative, right? We will have a conversations that would be much better, right? Okay, perfect. So coming to the main sorry, topic, market opportunities for sustainable innovation in the in India. So first of all, this is my question to each one of you, each one of the attendees who are there. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by sustainable innovation? 350 people, right? कोई तो सुन रहा होगा मुझे. Anyone listening to me, can anyone just write down in the chat that what do you think? What is it? Like what is sustainable innovation? According to you, what do you think that? अरे कुछ तो बता दो. सो रहे हो क्या सारे? गुड इवनिंग भी नहीं बोला किसी ने. वेरी बैड यार. I'll give you 30 seconds. Take time of 30 seconds and tell me. Let's see. Anyone, what is sustainable innovation? Okay. Okay, someone. Chahat. Sustainable innovation is a process where sustainability, considering environmental, social, financial, are integrated into company system from idea generation through the research, R&D, and commercialization. Absolutely, Chahat. Thank you so much for telling that. And true, it's absolutely true that it's a process where all the environmental, social, financial factors we take care of and we help. But when we come down to sustainable innovation, right? When we talk about the sustainable innovation, so sustainable innovation means that we are, as an entrepreneurs or as an innovators, we are innovating something which will go on forever, and it will be an impact. It will create an impact, okay, within the people, right? So that is like very important. So when you are an innovator or when you are an entrepreneur, you really have to like take care of these particular things. कि climate में कैसे change ला सकते? How can you bring the change in the climate? How can you create an impact in people's life? That is how sustainable innovation will come into the picture. And I have done few webinars, and last time also I did one webinar. I'm not sure how many people are repeating this, but again, my question would be the second question, which I would like to ask you all. When we talk about sustainable innovation, when you talk about the idea, right, where would that idea come from? Don't tell me it would come from mind. That is like obvious, right? But how do you get to know that yes, this is a sustainable innovative idea, and yes, I can bring a change? Trust me, guys, I have been to almost all the IIMs, all the IITs, gone to the top A, B colleges of the country. I have asked this question several times, but out of 100%, if I'll say, only 1% of the people can answer that. Let's see if Amity can also answer this. Come on, guys, come on. I'm sure Amity is like wonderful university, and I'm like Swapnil is Amity alumni. And when I asked Swapnil, 2 years, 3 years back, he gave me the right answer. I'm sure you would be able to give me. How can a sustainable, innovative idea come? This is my question. I'm repeating. Again, take 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Anyone? Okay. It means traditional innovation boosted and driven by concern for resources and the environment. Okay. Zishan Farid is saying that profitability means sustainable. A business has to be balanced both. The business which does both, that is correct. By Ritesh is saying by observing the environment properly. Right? Anyone else? Anyone would like to, tell me? Okay. So I'll just say one thing, that you are saying that by observing the environment properly, by, probably by looking, by finding a missing link in the chain, by looking at the potential market, right? Or basically by, more of a traditional innovation looks, or looking at the environment. Dhruv, I'm just reading Dhruv's answer. Guys, the first very thing for any idea is the problem, is the word problem. It's not about looking for, it's about what problem you are facing. What are the problems in the environment you are currently facing, and then you want to, go ahead, right? And have an idea, and then, you create a sustainable, innovative idea to solve that particular problem. If you don't see a problem, how can you build that idea? वो कहते हैं ना इंडियंस में कि जुगाड़ कैसे कर सकते हैं, how we can do that, right? And it's for that, it's very, very necessary to see the problem. And how can you see the problem? You just stand on a road and you see there are tons and tons of problems. You will see there is a problem in terms of pollution. How pollution can be solved? With properly green environment, right? Okay, we all know that, but still there is a lot of pollution. How can we solve it? Maybe through electric cars. Yes, that is one way. Maybe through e-vehicles. Yes, that is another way. Maybe through planting more trees and all. That is another way, right? There are n number of opportunities which you can do. Recently, I'll tell you a very interesting story, which happened day before yesterday. So day before yesterday, the Startup India team, they actually announced the entrepreneurs of the country. They gave awards to a few of the entrepreneurs of the country. And in that, there was a social entrepreneur named as Nimisha. She's a very good friend of mine, and I have particularly, spoken to her a couple of times. So what Nimisha did, she has actually created a cell, okay, a battery cell, okay, from aloe vera. Can you imagine? Like, wow, from aloe vera, she has created a cell, okay, with a positive and negative impact, right? And it's working. And you would be like, oh, aloe vera hai, nature se bana hai, expensive hoga. In fact, it is 10% less costly. 10% less costly as compared to the normal cells which we use, the AA, AAA cells, in which I'm talking about, right? So you can understand how the social innovator things like that, right? Let's just take another example. I'm sure you know this name, Funsuk Wangdu. Yeah, Funsuk Wangdu is basically the person in Three Idiots, Amir Khan, right? The original name of that innovator basically is Sonam Wangchuk. He's running his school named as SecMall, okay, in based out of Leh Ladakh. So again, I have been honored, and I've been like lucky enough to met him, a couple of times, right? I've been visited his and I stayed there for one full day in his school. Trust me, that inventor, he only thinks about, Sonam Wangchuk only thinks about how we can bring change in the climate, how we can help the climate to survive another 500 years, another 1,000 years, right? We all know there is a big problem which is going on in an atmosphere, in our atmosphere, but how he can bring change. So you would have heard this story a lot many times that he created an artificial glacier just because there was water scarcity in his village. Everyone knows about this, right? So this is how you see there is a problem, and then you bring on the sustainable, innovative idea which can actually impact the people. Don't think about business. Never think about business when you talk about a sustainable, innovative idea. You think about how we can create more and more, how we can create more and more impact on people's life. If you can think that way, I promise you money will come automatically into your pocket. You don't have to worry about money. Trust me when I talk about this. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, now yes.
Mr. Akarshan, there's a question from Nitika Sharma that what is that one point that an entrepreneur should keep in mind while framing a plan for sustainable innovation to stand out in the crowd? So if you could answer that, yeah.
What is the one point? I'm just going through, ma'am. I'm just going through the question. What is the one point that an entrepreneur should keep in mind while framing a plan for the system? Okay. So, Nitika, thanks for asking this question. And I would frankly would like to tell you that one thing, as I said, that it's always about impacting lives, right? Now, first understand where you, in which sector you want to go. You want to go into, so we know about SDG goals, right, by UN. There are 17 SDG goals. So where do you want to go? Do you want to go into climate? Do you want to go into hunger? Do you want to go into poverty? Where do you want to go exactly? First understand that, right? Once you have chosen a sector in where you want to create an impact in people's life, then you understand that, okay, this is the goal. Like, let's just say you are going into the hunger zone, right? Now you're talking about, like, we have to provide food to the people, okay, or we want to help the people, that there should be no problem in terms of their nutrients, right, through which there are diseases happening. So the one point which I would talk about, it would be like, choose a proper sector, okay? Choose a proper sector as a social innovator, and research and research and research, and understand how you can bring that innovative idea into your mind. And bringing innovative idea is very simple. You basically brainstorm it, and how you brainstorm it, you talk to n number of people. Guys, it's my request, as a startup expert guy, I would say, like, I don't call myself as a startup expert guy, but yeah, people call me that. So I'm just to give you a reference why people call me, because I'm a recognized mentor by Startup India team, Government of India, and recognized Startup India, like startup mentor by 5 different state governments as well. So frankly, what I think, when you talk about how we can get a sustainable, innovative idea into our minds, it's just about you are discussing the problems with the people who are facing the problems. Okay. So first do that. Once you have done that, right, you got few problems, then you brainstorm it. Brainstorm, as I said. So what I was trying to say, please don't think that when you will discuss your idea with people, it will get copied. It never happens like that. Trust me, it never happens. The idea can be copied, but the execution will be, your execution will be a different. It will be unique. So Nitika, please, whenever you are going for research into the market, and as an entrepreneur, you have to keep one thing in mind, that you are going to research, you are going to ask, you are talking to the people who are facing the problems. Don't Google it. Don't do your secondary research. Do your primary research. Do talk to the people, okay, who are facing this problem, because once you will understand how they are facing the problem, what are the problems they are facing, I promise you will, once you will brainstorm it with the people, you will get an idea, and you can, as an entrepreneur, it will be, trust me when I say, it will be a great idea, and probably I would say you will be successful. So there are only two words in my dictionary: either you will be successful, or either you will be learned. And you will learn, or you will be successful. That's all I would say. So research and research. That's my whole thing. I hope, Nitika, I answered your query, but if you still have any kind of thing, but you can ask me. But my answer to this question is very simple: research and talk to the people out there who are facing problems.
Absolutely. Research is very important. I have one more question from Bhavya. Like where she's asking, like when we talk about sustainability, how can we include sustainable practices in our own startup?
Sustainable practices in our own startup. See, Bhavya, again, my thing would be very simple. When you talk about sustainable, okay, so let's talk about, let's see an example. Okay, I'll give you one very easy example. Let's just say though I'm an engineer, okay, from background, and I work day and night, right? I'm working with my electronics things, okay? And as electronics things, if let's just say I'm creating an IoT device, right? While creating an IoT device, I have to do a lot of assembling. I have to bring a lot of electronics things, maybe sensors, maybe different PCBs, and all those things. But if I know that probably that PCB won't work, what I'll do is I'll probably just throw off that PCB into the dustbin and it will go into the trash. Why cannot I recycle it? Why cannot I take the help of those components which is there in the PCB and create some kind of an innovative thing? The recycle point. Okay, so I would probably say that all the sustainability things which right, you first apply within yourself. Okay, if you want to make a change in the people's life, start making change in your life. Start making change in your routine. Okay, start making see where you can recycle, see where you can reinvent. Okay, because that's how an innovator becomes, right? It's not about, it's not about किसी ने मतलब मे बी प्लेन बनाने से पहले शुरू नहीं करा होगा. प्लेन तो एरोप्लेन पहले भी बने होंगे किसी ना किसी टाइम पे, बट वो उड़ नहीं पाए. But the Wright brothers did that, right? So it's all about how you are going forward about. Okay, how you are reinventing, how you are recycling, how you are changing your routine. Okay, and creating an impact in the people's life. If you are not following those goals in your life, then probably, I'm sorry, you would not able to help those people out there, because as I said earlier in my question, it is interrelated. If you won't research it, if you won't apply to yourself, then how can you bring the change? Right? It's very simple. You research it, you understand it, you bring the change within yourself, then you go and bring the change in people's life. Because आप अगर अपने पे change नहीं लाओगे, how will you say that you have validated that change? Right? How would you say that you have actually see that change का कुछ क्या effect है, whether वो that change is going into a negative way or in a positive? You don't know about that. So that's my whole point. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Any other question?
Sir, as a faculty of entrepreneurship, most of
Yes.
the time students have a query like why startups not able to sustain. Initially, they are able to identify a problem. Also, what you are saying, like first they need to identify. They are discussing about the problems, but
Right.
up to first step, second step, and the third step, their enthusiasm fall, and they are not able to execute. Maybe like you are saying, you are from a technological background and designing is missing or something prototyping. So what they need to do so they can move ahead and reach to their commercialization stage. So this is the insights which you can share with the
Sure.
students.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much for asking this question. And trust me, ma'am, when I say that whenever I get this question, I get really excited, because I have actually, I have the data insights to prove that where we as an entrepreneurs are going wrong, right? So, ma'am, and all the students and all the people who are the startup enthusiasts, right? I'll just tell you one very interesting data which I actually created with the Startup India team. There are approximately almost around 200 startups which are born every day. Which are born every day in India means that they are being registered. Right now we are discussing something, some kind of an entrepreneur are registering his or her firm, right? But out of 200, 190 to 192 startups are failing every day as well. Either they are shutting down their business, or they are like, okay, I don't know what to do next. It is happening. So the success ratio is only around 3 to 4%, not even that. Why? Because, ma'am, I'll tell you the major issue what the entrepreneurs don't do it, and I have actually studied so whosoever is successful, whether we talk about Oyo rooms, whether we talk about Flipkarts, whether we talk about any Byju's, why they are successful and why unfortunately the other startups are not. The reason being that we don't validate it. Everyone think about that, like our idea is the best idea. We are very innovative. And even if you are innovative, even if that idea is brilliant, even that idea is great, but if you're not launching that idea in the right time, you don't know. The timing is very, very important. मतलब ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि ओयो बना तो ओयो के साथ और वो एक्सो रूम्स और कितने और रूम्स है, बट दैट डिडंट गो अहेड. व्हाई? बिकॉज ओयो राइट टाइम पे, राइट जगह पे, राइट पोजीशन पे था, राइट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के साथ था. So this is very, very important that we validate it. And what validation can bring into your business is like amazing thing. So I'll just give you again one very simple example. Let's just say that you are facing a problem of pollution, okay, in your city, in your state, or in your place, right? Ab us place pe, the problem would be that in that place or in that particular like let's just say you are facing a problem of pollution and you are in your car, okay, sitting, and still pollution ki हवा तो आती है कार से, कार के अंदर भी, right? And you are inhaling that bad particles of that atmosphere. You are in a traffic jam as well. So what will you do? Okay, and you really want, as an entrepreneur, as an innovator, you really want to bring that change, कि वो traffic हट जाए, right? Pollution ना रहे. What can you do that? What There would be n number of things which you can do, but you never thought. अब इसमें अगर मैं बोलूं, let's just say I am sitting with my 10-year-old kid, I am sitting with my 70-year-old father, okay, right, in the car, and suddenly कार में बैठे बैठे मेरे को लगा कि यार I really want to get rid of this pollution, I really want to get rid of this traffic thing. How can I do that? तो मैंने गुस्से में आके ऐसे बोला, and let's just say my 10-year-old kid says very stupid thing but very interesting as well. He says that, Dad, why don't you fly? I'm like, are you stupid? Are you nuts? What you are talking about? How can I fly? But वो कहता है, उसका एक आंसर है. चलो एक आंसर वो पकड़ लेते हैं, एक आंसर को. Second thing, my dad से, तो मैंने just मैं पीछे घूम के पूछता हूँ, Dad, what you would have done in your early times? My dad says that I used to either work or I used to either cycle. That's how the pollution was not there, and that's how I wasn't stuck in the traffic jam. Now just imagine, I have two brilliant ideas. I'm saying brilliant because there is a reason. I have two brilliant ideas from two different people, from two different mindset of two different generations, right? Can I just integrate it and create something innovative? Can I do that? And if we can do that, then probably you have created a solution for that. And yes, there are solutions which are happening. बहुत simple. Again, इसका अगर मैं बोलूँ, you all would have heard about this Iron Man. You would have all seen Iron Man, right? So Iron Man का जो suit है, there is a UK-based startup who got $100 million funding, okay, to prepare that particular suit. And trust me, when that suit will be there will be no pollution, okay? It's an innovative technology which they are implementing to create a impact in people's life. Yes, it might be expensive. It might be very expensive that people can't afford it. But even if there are 10 people who can buy it, so 10 vehicles are not there now. It's not creating the pollution problem. At least there are 10 people, right? So this is how innovative thinking and brainstorming can do 10 different things. And let's just say in that particular car I am sitting, I got this idea, I stepped down the car, I went to another cars who are already stuck in the traffic, and I tell them that you are not able to go to your home, right? If I give you this suit of, let's just say $1,000 for daily use, okay, $1,000, it's all your suit, and you go daily, by flying, by walking, or whatever, okay, and you won't face the problem of pollution, you won't face the problem of traffic congestion. How would you feel, right? he would think about it, whether he has money or not. He would think about it that yes, maybe I can buy that, right? I can buy that. So probably it will help him or her, okay, to understand, and he will validate it. Okay, so now I'm doing the validation. I have got this idea. I'm talking to the people who are already stuck, okay, in that particular situation, and I'm talking to them and asking them whether you will face the similar problems or not after this innovative technology is there. Okay, and they say yes, I'll buy that. Few might say no, I won't buy. Few will say yes, I buy that, right? जब मेरे पास वो yes का आ गया data, so I have already my pre-sales customer who are there to buy my technology. So that is how you validate your idea. So trust me, guys, you just write down somewhere in your book, in your notebook, in your phones, or in anywhere, wherever you are right now, just write down. If you have an idea, go and talk to 100 people, okay, about your idea. Just go and talk, okay, who are facing the problems. Remember, you go and talk to those 100 people, and out of 70 people, if they say that yes, this is a problem and your idea might be able to solve it, even not 70%, let's just say there are 30% people, okay, who says that yes, your idea can solve a problem, okay, and we would love to buy this, or we would love to buy your product or maybe your service, and this can create an this can create an impact in our lives, then please give this solution to us. If there are 30 people out of 100 people who are going to say this, please go and start building your startup, because your idea is validated. So the only problem why we startups are failing in India, we don't validate, we don't go out and talk to the people who are facing the problems. So understand, there are 134 crore people out there in India. Just do the mathematics, just see if you are going to create a sustainable, innovative solution to solve the problems of the people of 134 crore people, 30% भी आपको अगर yes बोल दे, you will, and उनसे आप even one rupee भी लेना शुरू कर दो, you already got like 20-30 crores, right? You already got that, more than that. So that's all about it, right? Validate it. Out of 100 people, if 30 people accept your idea, please go about it. And if they are not accepting, please then rework on your model. And those 100 people can be of any age, can be of any gender, can be of any religion, can be of irrespective what that person is. It should be just a human being, a talking human being, right? And they should say yes, no, or why. That's it. Validating your idea is very, very important.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another important question from our
Yes.
students also, like
Yes.
mostly they are a management students, right?
Right.
So
Right.
normally a question comes to their mind that how a non-technological innovation could be sustainable for a longer period of time, because it can be easily imitable. They are
Sure.
not a background of a technology, so how this non-technological innovation can be sustained?
Sure. So guys, okay, I am an engineer. Frankly, just to again, give you an example, I am again an engineer, but I'm pursuing, I've done my master's as well in business administration and MBA, right? And frankly, to tell you, I can understand what you are talking about. If you are not coming from the technology background, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Trust me, all the e-commerce websites, still we see the Nikas, and still we see the O2 Nails, still we see the Flipkart, still we see the Snapdeals, even the Paytm e-commerce. Everyone is doing the same kind of a thing, right? But they are sustainable. It doesn't matter if you are creating a robot or not. Even if you are creating a robot, there are n number of robots, right? But उसको अगर मैनेजमेंट का टच नहीं दिया गया, उसको अगर मार्केटिंग का प्रॉपर टच नहीं दिया गया, उसको एक प्रॉपर बिजनेस मॉडल के साथ नहीं, it is not launched in the market, then probably it will fail. So how you management people are having a problems of the technology, just think about the technology people, the inventors of that technology product. They are having problems of the correct business model, correct management. So this is not alone problem of yours. This is the problem of like every person. सबको होता है कि यार हम लोग सब कुछ सीख ले. That doesn't happen. So you have to create a team. Okay, you create a person. जहाँ पे you create a, sorry, not a person. You create a proper team जहाँ पे you are bringing the people who are well adversed with the technology which you really want to implement. You go and talk to the engineers और उनको बोलो कि यार मेरे को एक ऐसी एप्लीकेशन बनानी है, मेरे को ऐसा एक IoT डिवाइस बनाना है, क्या वो बन सकता है? नहीं बन सकता है. कोई मना करता है, कोई नहीं मना करता है. पूछो उनसे क्यों नहीं बन सकता है. Ask them why. If you stop asking them why, then probably you won't learn. Because the next time you will go to an engineer, you can, if you have got the question of why to an engineer who said no, उससे आपने पूछा why and he gave you an answer. Next time you are going to the second engineer, you would ask कि यार ये problem मेरे को first engineer बताई थी, would you solve this or not? Right? So my question is very simple. You can create the sustainable, innovative technology as well. The management students, it's just about creating the right business model. तो कहते हैं ना हम marketers को, हम management people को तो यार मतलब we can sell comb to even a bald guy, right? We can do that. हमने बहुत ये सुना and people have actually done that. That's why कोई मतलब ऐसी हवा में proverb नहीं बनता. बनता है तो कुछ reason से बनता है, right? Because we people have done that. That's why it's you know, it's a famous proverb, right? So आप लोगों के ऊपर है how you create the business model. Innovative technology you can buy, you can have team, you can do a number of things, but even the technology is useless until unless its business model is correct. उसका बहुत simple example बोलता हूँ. Elon Musk is the number one. He's a tech guru. He's amazing. He's like the best innovator this entire world has right now. But Elon Musk is still below Jeff Bezos. Why? Just understand this question. Both are legends in their fields. But why Elon Musk is not at Jeff Bezos' level? Because Jeff Bezos has an amazing sustainable business model, right? Through which he's earning. So that's how you do that. Yeah.
Sir, in case of sustainable innovation, like students have a belief that there is no such profits and all. Can you tell that in a sustainable innovation, how they can build a good revenue model?
Right.
Or,
Right. Sure. So, guys, I recently just gave you an example today itself that, you know, the Allo eCell, okay, the startup I'm talking about, they have actually created a sustainable innovation product, okay, the cell which I'm talking about. आप अपनी research due diligence, if your due diligence is perfect, okay, if your due diligence is perfect in terms of your product or in terms of your service, you might not get money instantly, but once it is out in the market, you would definitely get. And you have to have that revenue model. Never think you are doing something for free. Never think about that. Always think about, yes, I'm trying to bring a change in the people, in other people's life, you know, in a good way, right? Then what, as management students, you should have that wo sale wala wo कहते हैं ना, I'm sorry to use this, but yes, you should have that mindset of making money every time you are selling your product or service, even if it's 1 rupee. Even if it's 1 rupee. If you have that, trust me, कोई भी innovative solution आ जाए with in your mind, you would be able to sell that. It's just about frankly, having a good revenue model is very, very important. And it's just, I don't have the there is a time limitation which I have, but personally, if you'll connect with me, right, I promise you, I'll tell you exactly how you can create a revenue model for the sustainable, innovative products or maybe for the services. But always, as I said, always remember that you should impact people's life. And for impacting that people's life, even if you know, even if you are trying to help a poor person and telling him that you only give me 1 rupee, I'll give you 3 meals a day. You are earning that 1 rupee, right? You are earning that. But how you are going to do that depends on your innovative idea. You should always have that mindset that yes, मेरे को कुछ ना कुछ तो पैसा कमाना. So, yeah.
Jayashree, any other questions? The student wants to write.
Yes, there are a few of questions that I think is already answered. Like one question is like, as you were saying that we should start something with finding the problems, and if they come up with the problems, what next?
How do I know so many problems? Which one should I solve? which one basically is impacting more people's life, frankly. If let's just say I am, if I can see there is a problem of pollution, if there is a problem of poverty, if there is a problem of food, okay, in my locality, if I would say, what is the main important thing which I should solve so that I can survive? So the number one would be food, right? So अगर food ही नहीं होगा तो how would I survive in my locality? How would the people survive? Pollution को हम लोग फिर भी ले सकते हैं, उससे बीमार पड़ेंगे, but food ही नहीं होगा तो खाना नहीं जाएगा, nutrients नहीं जाएंगे तो body तो sustain ही नहीं कर पाएगी. So major is you look for the most important thing, most important problem the people are going through, brainstorm it, and अगर उससे नहीं एक solution मिल रहा है, then go on the second problem. There are so many problems in everyone's life, right? But you talk about the first problem, which is majorly can impact a people's life in a good way, right? If you cannot do that, then go on the second problem, you go on the third problem. As simple as that.
I think that because of lack of time, I think we can there are more questions. They can mail it to you. So you
Yes.
can give your mail ID in the chat session. So Nidhi ma'am, can we, finish the session?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your insightful and valuable guidance. The key takeaways for today's session, like you talked about problem identification, due diligence, market research, networking, and most importantly, that your idea should be socially and economically impactful, which will become the success reason for your sustainable business model. Thank you, sir. Thank you for such. Now I will hand over to Jayashree
Just
ma'am
a
for a
minute,
vote
ma'am,
of
just a minute.
thanks.
I would really like to thank all the faculty members of Amity for taking out their time and giving an opportunity for all of us. And thank you everyone for coming, and thank you Amity specifically for organizing this wonderful webinar. I wished that I had a lot of time, or maybe if ma'am would like to invite me again, I would definitely love to come. Right, but thank you everyone, and specifically Amity people, you all rock. Wonderful questions asked by you, and thank you once again, everyone.
Well, I would like to take the opportunity to propose a hearty vote of thanks to our esteemed speakers for the day, Mr. Akarshan Sethi and Mr. Swapnil Verma, co-founders, the Startup Scholars, for sharing their valuable time and imparting the knowledge on how, with necessary skills and abilities, one can validate the initial problem, solution fit it, and how an entrepreneur should keep in mind while framing a plan for a sustainable innovation to stand out really in the crowd before scaling it to significant self-sustained businesses. Thank you again, for handling all the queries. You did it wonderfully. Thank you very much. I also would like to acknowledge our gratitude to Honorable Founder President Sir, Chancellor Sir, our Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Director Sir, Dr. J.K. Sharma, for continuous encouragement and motivation for the conduct and support of such webinars for the benefit of our students. I must mention my deep sense of appreciation for the faculties, Dr. Nidhi Gupta, and also the student organizing team for their efforts to make this event a success. Last but not the least, my heartful thanks to our students, all our students, especially studying FOE, for their active participation and your interest in this particular area. Now, with these warm words, we move towards the end of this session. Thank you all for joining us today. Sir, can we end the session?
Okay, very, very nice. Swapnil is our only student.